welcome back. Now, we've had a great time looking at those films that we did. Complete rubbish, I hate them, that doesn't matter, they're already up there, but they gave us a starting point. So since then, what's become clear is that I had to kind of increase my mineral stock, rock and mineral samples. So unfortunately, this is going to be the nerdiest unboxing ever. That's right, they do it with toys, they do it with makeup, they do it with all sorts of other garbage on the internet. I think I'm going to be the first ever to be on the internet to do a rock and mineral sample unboxing. So this will be the nerdiest unboxing ever. However, I have bought some samples. I don't collect anymore. Those days for me are over, unfortunately. But I have bought some samples and I am so excited. I actually literally waited until I can be before the camera to open these up. So I've seen them on the computer when I ordered them. They are Australian pieces, which is awesome, which is what I love, because a lot of geology pieces to order and find are not from Australia. But these two do come from Western Australia. So let's have a go. Okay. Now, I hear you ask, what are we unboxing? Minerals or rocks? Or are they both? And if they're rocks, what kind of rocks are they? And I can tell you're all really excited. I really am. I really, totally am. Okay, I've waited a long time for these pieces. These pieces I bought because these are the kind of pieces I only ever saw in museums and as teaching samples with the big universities and schools that I was in. So later on I will be explaining what they actually are, how they're formed and why they're really important. But right for now I'm going to pull them out one at a time. So I'm going to try and have a peek, which is my favourite one. Okay, I do know which piece this is. Do we have ominous music going or something like that? I don't know. Maybe post-ed he'll do something really exciting. I'm not really quite sure. Let's have a look. This is so exciting. Okay, what am I holding on? I'm going to hold this up with you. Okay, what have we got? This, my friends, is what's known as a gneiss. It's a particular type of gneiss called an Augen gneiss. A-U-G-E-N, Augen gneiss. It's from the German word eye, Augen. And this has feldspars, quite really beautifully twinned feldspars. We'll talk about that later on in a fine ground matrix. And again, we'll talk about that later on. This particular piece is what's known as Aegean in the time scale, the geological time scale. Aegean is older than Precambrian. Some of the oldest rocks on the planet, they actually come from Western Australia. So this is a very unusual piece because it does have microcrystalline pieces of pyrite on it, which is exceptionally rare. I'm yet to find where these microcrystals of pyrite are, but I can't believe I actually have them organised. Very hard to find, very old, some of the oldest rocks on the planet, absolutely beautiful specimens. Can't recommend them highly enough as collector's pieces. But we're going to talk about that piece a little bit later on in some other subsequent episodes. Let's put you little darling over there. This is another gneiss that I ordered. Oh, do you know, sometimes you see things on the screen and you look at it and you think, that's a really nice piece. Oh, I really want that. And when you actually get it, you go, gee, is that all you are? And you get really let down. And then there are pieces you look at, like this Augen gneiss piece, and yeah, no look. Yeah, no look. I actually thought these pieces were going to be a lot smaller than they actually are. The man who sold them to me, the people who sell them, collect them themselves, and that from his own personal collection that he's had for quite some time. Now this also is a gneiss. For the moment we'll just have a look at how beautiful this is. The banding on here is extremely clear. On that alganite wasn't very clear at all. These are high temperature, high pressure rocks, some of the oldest on the planet. Again, this is Aegean age, I'm told. It is important to trust the provenance, unless you actually know more geology than the person who sold it to you does. It is important to trust the provenance and to actually keep the details of that. That's really important. Not just for yourself, but for other people who might be looking at samples at some point later on as well. So there we go, there's that little beautiful little piece. Just put you over, put you behind there. Now I do actually have another really big box of samples to unbox. Probably a little dull for this moment, but I want to talk about a few other things while I'm here. So how's that for an unboxing? Really nerdy, hey. One thing I am going to talk about is the old nugget, that little old nugget when it comes to YouTube stuff. Subscribe. That's it, subscribe. Why am I going to ask you to subscribe? Well, here's a reason why. Here's a word from our sponsors. As you've probably worked out, we don't have any sponsors. We are completely, totally self-funded. So the reason why I want you to subscribe is this. Not for us, because there is no way known I'm going to make any money from this. That is absolutely clear. Not necessarily because the content in itself is not valuable, but because I just can't get the volume that some kind of advertiser is going to want to be added to this. I mean, really, what are people going to be saying if I'm going to be talking about rocks and minerals? High value camera equipment, geopic. Yeah, that's a real money maker. What I'm going to do is ask you to subscribe for a reason. If you feel from these videos that you're going to learn something, if you feel that you have learned something, then by subscribing, what you're doing is helping us add to the algorithm and the sense of popularity that a particular video might have. What that will do is that will help the algorithms determine how frequently this video pops up when people put into search rocks and minerals. What's another term? Geological knowledge and anything in that. This will help students when they're putting in a search term into YouTube for this to come up a little bit more frequently, hopefully. Because my goal here is to actually help students understand the geological knowledge that comes with the curriculum. This is a bit of an undiscovered country on YouTube. There aren't that many YouTube videos dedicated to helping you understand rocks and minerals. And by taking students through this course quite methodically, as per a curriculum is taught in high school or maybe the first year in university, some of them trickier concepts that are harder to absorb, hopefully, if I'm explaining as piece by piece, bits at a time, it becomes a little more understandable. The more that you follow what is happening at a slower pace, the more you're likely to absorb more advanced concepts and really complex long terminology. There's loads of definitions and terminology that's used in geology, which can become quite confusing. Usually students, when they come to university, they've got some biological knowledge and chemistry and physics and maths, but they're not going to have a great deal of geology, if any at all. So by subscribing, what you're doing is you're helping us spread the algorithm around to become a little bit more popular than it actually is. We are totally self-funded. I will say it has cost a packet so far to set us up with what we have. Got some new lighting in. We've got some new cameras and camera equipment coming in to be able to see those close-ups. If you want to subscribe, remember, it's not just you that's benefiting from us. We're not going to benefit whatsoever, but you're going to help others be able to access these videos a little more freely. So, see you in a second. Well, we've decided to introduce a new segment to the show. We're going to take viewers' letters. So, we received hundreds of letters with dozens of words written onto this one piece of paper. So that's who. Scott M from Canberra writes, "Hi Roxanne, love your show. I really hate my job and no one loves me. My last boss was awful." Oh God, that's really sad. Tragic. "I'm thinking changing careers. I was wondering if being a geologist was a good thing to do and can I do it?" Well, Scott, should you become a geologist? Yes, please leave your current job, become a geologist. Absolutely, that's what you want to do. Just though you probably won't be there in that job for much longer anyway, so maybe a career change is just up your avenue. Okay, feedback. We've had some feedback. Fantastic. Thank you very much. What your feedback was concerning was actually stuff that was already in my head to do anyway. So what the feedback mostly revolved around is, I want to see pretty. Can I see something really pretty? That's really interesting, but can I see something really pretty? So it's a running theme there. I'm going to fix that. We'll give you some more pretties to look at. This isn't a pretty face to look at, I get that. So what I'm going to do is make sure that we get some high definition camera equipment, some great lenses, and we're going to do some close-ups and some really great samples and specimens that I've acquired over the last several weeks. So it's been a while since my last video, so we've got quite a lot to be able to show you. And it's kind of stuff that if I was to hold it up here in front of the camera, the impact of it and the importance of it is going to be lost a little bit. So we're going to wait until we've got those lenses. Hundreds of monies for those little lenses. Any old camera will do when it comes to the lens, I'm afraid. Not even the iPhone can touch that one. So we're going to, I think we've got a spare kidney or two. That will be great, because that's what these lenses cost. They're actually pretty expensive. So, but we're not going to be able to get the resolution that I want to be able to show you and to convey the point to. So anyway, thanks for joining us, and I'll see you into the next video. Bye.